Okay, so this will be the second session for. Okay, so this will be the second session for Monday Insights, which will be going on during the New York session at 8 p.m. lah. Okay, so Skiran, you can go ahead and share your screen first.
Okay. Maybe you just type the Telegram one more time that we started already.
Okay, can.
Okay, so yeah, I will touch on GU first, since there was a conversation about it. Okay, so basically GU, right? There was two things going on with GU over here, and okay, I haven't really taken anything yet. I just set up my stuff. So okay, so firstly, this range over here, right? I mean, this supply over here was supposed to be reflected properly. So now we're actually tapping into the supply. If I highlight it out, right here, yeah. So we're actually tapping into the supply. So we have to check whether this supply breaks or not. Because if this supply does not break, then we have a very good potential downside. That will look something like this. Yeah. On the other hand, if this supply does break and we head to the next supply zone, then I'll be looking at the level of 1.38600 level. Yeah, for the 4 hour supply zone. And this 4 hour supply zone is actually also the daily supply zone at the moment. So I'm hoping to see some action that happens over here at this zone here. So I'll be looking for refined entry on the short for 1.38622, giving me a 2 pip stop loss. Yeah, roughly a 2.5 pip stop loss around there. Yeah, hopefully we can get this trade down and we don't weak past this area here. Because if this supply is broken, then we will hit to higher supply zones, which is not what we want. And touching GJ as well. So GJ has a similar issue here. So GJ, we are tapping into the daily supply zone. So the daily supply zone, I'm hoping to get a short. I haven't really refined this yet, but I'm hoping to get a short. That looks something like this. For the daily supply zone. This not refined yet, by the way. So if I refine, I actually refined on my phone already. I think the RR or something was pretty good. It was like a 1 to 50, 60 plus. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get this trade down later on in the midst of New York session. Yeah, but I think optimally, right, it would be best to actually be patient about this first because okay, so this entire box, right, is the box that I drew over here as a supply. So we're looking at this gigantic and bullish candle over there. And we go to 4 hours, we can see that bullish candle, right, there's a lot of action going on here. So there's a lot of like taking out these highs, these equal highs over here, and coming back down. So hopefully this will respond to us later on and not give us a more bullish momentum to the upside because then everything will just be invalidated. But if in a case where it chooses to go past this right for some reason, then we can look for the areas of here. This area over right here. Yeah, this supply zone right here, which is the level of 152072. Yeah, 152072 to 152571. Extremely big range. Obviously, you should go and refine on the daily, hourly, and minutes time frame. Yeah, but hopefully that does not happen. And taking out these highs as well, because as you can see, these highs, right, sort of also I'm expecting some liquidity to be lying about there as well. So hopefully we don't move past this entire thing and take out these highs, because that will really suck. Yeah, for that to happen. AUD USD, my running position is doing extremely well. Still going extremely strong. My position was here. Hang on, I check my phone. Yeah. So this is my current running position for AU. Still doing very well. I'm looking at a 1 to 46 RR. Yeah. My multiple positions stacked, so it's way more than 1 to 46, but 1 to 200 I think. for AU alone. Yeah, so looking for it to tap at this supply zone here, this 4-hourly supply zone. Very easy to tap, I feel, because we have nice good bullish momentum, especially passing through this 4-hour and daily demand zone. Much cleaner than EU and GU in my opinion. Yeah, so if you were to take this trade more on a stack basis right now, right, I would think it's actually quite hard to enter unless you try for this supply zone right over here. So if you were to take the shots of this supply zone with your own personal refined entry, you would get a shot somewhere over here like this, and then probably to the bottom, but or you definitely have to refine it if you want to try for this. But I think coming the bullish momentum is quite risky to actually take this. It might just react for a bit. It might just react for a little bit and then continue pushing up. So don't expect too much from this because we did touch into a weekly and daily demand zone. So it will invalidate this supply zone pretty easily. So I'm looking for the best areas to be the best interest areas, right, to be roughly okay. So over here, so as you can see, this like a lot of bullish pressure is coming in, right? So this bullish pressure will probably consolidate around here, touch back this demand zone here, and then we can look for a buy here, right here at the demand zone that we have created from this bullish pressure. So a short, imaginary short will look something like this. I mean imaginary long, sorry, will look something like this and then back up to the top. I wouldn't look for any sales or spread at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, basically that's it for my pairs. Budi, you want to cover yours? No. Budi. Wow. Okay. Budi, cannot hear you.
Hello. Yeah. Sorry. I was meeting myself.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So before I actually go on, go through the pair that Jonathan was asking about, USD CHF. Okay, this is definitely not a pair that I trade, so it's a bit pretty foreign to me, that's for sure. Let's jump to the daily
Actually, I
first.
got a sell limit on this pair.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, I got a sell limit that lies at hang on, I look my phone. So the sell limit lies at
Okay, for sales on USD CHF is just
0.94350.
94350.
Yeah,
Oh, here,
yeah,
somewhere around this
yeah.
zone.
Daily
Uh,
supply.
yeah, correct. The fact that I just that's it,
Yeah.
boxed
Right, this
it
my
out.
sell limit, but of course I refined it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so the to answer Jonathan's question, sales do not look as good right now. You might want to give it some time before actually looking for sales, because right now, hold on. Yeah, because right now USD CHF has just broken past the previous supply found on a daily time frame, so we can actually still see some upside movement. And when that occurs and when it happens, we can see the next supply being touched. And if you do refine it to find a point of interest within this zone, you can actually you know what, since I'm here myself, I just look through it also. I might even end up taking this trade if it's nice, if it's nice. Yeah, it's a bit messy, fuck. But yeah, within this zone is where I would actually look for sales, because if you look over to the daily time frame, you can see that if this supply is not respected, this supply is more highly likely to be respected. So shorts would look something like this within this zone. Of course, your SL has to be refined further, lah, but it will be definitely be within this zone, and you can drag down to, I would say, the next untouched demand. I would say either here within this zone or here. Yeah, either this zone or this zone. For the trade to be the safest lah. This is the areas in which I would target the TP to be. Yes. Okay, that's it for USD CHF. I'm still very short on GPUSD. Looking for the sales to stuff higher. Yeah. Okay, so Darren was asking if we are still actually looking for sales on GBP USD. I actually am eyeing on sales because I spotted out a Wyckoff distribution over here, but we can see that through the area when wait, sorry, my earpiece is the battery is finishing, but I'll try to go through as fast as possible lah. Okay, so when it was actually in a phase D of distribution type 1, you can actually see that it actually formed another set of schematic over here. So I've yet to actually plot this out yet, but I'll take it as a whole, where this entire thing is a distribution by itself. So I'm still definitely seeing I'm still definitely eyeing for sales on GU until it actually breaks past the supply found on the what is it? Until it breaks past the supply found on the 1 hour the hourly time frame, which is here. I'm just plotting this out to actually eye out on potential entry if it does break structure and so on and so forth. So actually I might have just missed this because if you see over here, we can actually spot out a break in structure, and this might actually be the retracement for sales over here. But I'm not going to take any sales right now because it's honestly just too messy. Like legit, because usually when schematics do form, right, the upthrust is usually a very clean movement, but this is one very messy upthrust, so I have to actually all right. I mean, if it fits the way you actually trade, right, then by all means. But I would say that you you were talking about GBPCHF or GHP? Got such thing as GHP?
No,
I think you were
typo.
referring to
GBP CHF.
GBPCHF. Okay. Okay lah.
Oh, I thought USD CHF.
Oh, oh yeah. Of course, it does give good risk to reward ratio. But just in my opinion, because we like to actually have more of those like sniper entries, right? So I'm actually waiting for price to actually go up, like, because if it does actually fly up here, right, we are looking at about 45 pips for price to move to the upside before actually drowning. Just based off my setup lah. That's for GU and USD CHF. As for EU, hold on. Okay, as for EU, actually, it's a bit like countering my bias on GU, because if you can see over here, right, what's happening is that within this demand zone that was found on I believe, let me see, was it a 4 hour time frame? Yes, the demand zone that was found on a 4 hour time frame, right? It's actually respecting it pretty well, not breaking the previous low, and also jumping over to the 15 minutes time frame. I would say that, where is it? These longs actually did seem very nice, because it basically just fits my the sort of setup that I would personally usually take. But then again, because this seems like a double bottom, we can actually see a liquidity grab to the downside before actually rising up. But to how low it goes, I'm not entirely too sure lah. I have to cross-reference it with the supply and demand zone found through the past areas in which price visited.
What about the fundamental of EU?
I'm not. I don't actually trade based off fundamentals, but Kiran, do you want to trade? Do you want to explain your fundamental side? Because as you
Okay,
know,
so fundamental of EU, right? EU generally this year has very good bullish potential. As I've been saying for the past few weeks already, I do see a good recovery in EU, AUD, and NZD. Yeah, so in terms of the fundamental of EU, right, I think the fact that if Biden and the Federals and the 10-year Treasury bond they do go pretty well, right, we could see a EU downside.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we could potentially see a proper EU downside, which actually going to like take the liquidity grabs from where we blew upon COVID last year. So I'm looking for EU to be actually touching 1.16 or 1.13 regions if um if the US trend really kicks in for this year. But that's the downside of it. But the fact that if US unable to sustain their economy for very long, right? Because all they can do is keep inflating, right? But after they keep inflating, their currency and value also will still go down in the end of the day. And if they don't manage their interest rates and all that kind of thing properly, right, then we could actually see a good, strong bullish EU momentum to the upside, to actually the 1.25, 26 regions around there, yeah, the way high up areas of EU. Yeah, so hopefully EU will make a comeback this year, and break the current supply zone of 1.22, I think. Yeah, 1.22, which failed to break a few
Yeah,
times
is
already.
it?
So yeah, roughly over there because we are stuck in this range here, in this weekly and daily range. So it has to completely break this entire zone to hit up. Can you do me a favor, go to the weekly time frame more?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Then
Okay,
just zoom
wait,
out.
hold on. Hold on. Let me just open a new chat because mine is a bit messy right
Okay.
now. Okay. Oh, it's not a new chat. All right. Okay. This is a weekly.
Okay. Then just zoom out.
Zoom out.
Yeah, just zoom out all the way. Yeah.
How far do you want me to zoom out?
All the way.
All the way.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah, so you see like we have a huge drop on the left side of the screen. So that supply area, right, I'm hoping to be actually heading to that if we do see a strength in EU. Yeah, so we will reach there relatively fast, right? If US does some cock up or if there's huge strength in EU. So yeah, hopefully the ECB will do something about the strength of EU so to push it up, maybe the interest rates or whatever. But yeah, that supply zone possibly can be touched in future. I don't know when, but yeah, definitely very possible if there's
But
strength in
bro,
EU.
bro, it will take probably 1 year, legit. Because I'm looking at a Monday time frame, right? Only then can we
Yeah.
actually spot out a very clean
No,
supply,
but then you think
a very
about
clean
it. You
untapped
think about
supply
it.
zone.
GU right, GU and GJ right move 10,000 pips in 1 month, 1 2 months.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, remember?
Okay.
So it's possible because
Yeah,
if something needs to be attracted to the supply zone at this level, right, it can move incredibly fast with huge volume.
that's actually very true.
It's like a magnet. So anything is possible. Like it really comes down to like the economy, the US, all the bullshit that's going on. Yeah, but right now I think focusing on the 10-year EU, right? People's eyes are mostly on gold at the moment. Yeah, that's why gold has been consolidating and collecting so much orders in the current area of the market. Yeah, it's been stuck in the range of I think 1742 to 1718 regions. Yeah, so it's just collecting orders and waiting for NFP to actually show a huge direction. Yeah, after collecting the orders, so there'll probably be an order block. Yeah, in that zone as well. Yeah, liquidity for gold lies in both sides of the market. So you might want to be very careful about trading gold at the moment.
All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
You will say
I
that
hope we were
vaccination
able to.
EU. You say the vaccination EU is slow. So wouldn't the recovery be slower? Yeah, that makes sense also. So I think there was a news last week that was saying that EU was going to lower the amount of vaccines or some shit like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, there was some speech about the EU vaccine. I think by some minister or some shit like that. Then what happened was, yeah, we did see a bearish EU actually. So that's why Euro USD did crash back to the daily demand zone. So yeah, that's why it's very hard to actually say about the full strength right now because we need to see how US responds to this thing also. And coming out after the NFP, then you have the same shit cycle, the GDP, the CPI, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so just monitor the second quarter of the year for a while because now we're just entering the Q1. Yeah, so after Q1, maybe Q2 will have some action, but usually half of the year and beyond, right? That's when the real pushes start coming in. Yeah.
Okay, so I hope we were able to actually answer your question, Jonathan. So if the rest of you do have any sort of questions that you guys would like to ask, be it fundamentals or technical wise, right, do just drop your questions in the chat area lah. But as of right now, I think I might have just missed my GU sell limit, but that's fine because I rather just miss it than
Yeah, I
actually.
believe that if you master a few pairs, right, it's better than mastering more pairs. Don't be a jack of all trades and master of none. You want to always be strong in what you're able to. But if you know what you're doing in the market, you can trade almost every pair lah. It's just that you need to understand the spreads of certain pairs and you know how their movement is like. Where do they consolidate the most? How do they react to accumulation distribution? Yeah, that kind of stuff. So you have to know the nature of the pair as well. So like example, if an EU bull, right, you expect a GU to bull, but GU might just consolidate there right, until there's a bigger EU push towards the DXY, like more impact towards the DXY, that's when the GU will also push with it. Yeah, the kind of things you have to know about your pair. So it's always important to actually like take a handful. Like for me personally, I only trade like 3-4 pairs unless I'm feeling super adventurous and I start swinging the rest of the other pairs in the market. But if you're a beginner trader, definitely like GU, GJ, EJ, EU. If you're swing trader, GA, go trade your own risk really. Go, you will need to know more than just retail stuff to trade accurately. Because gold, if you are able to trade it institutionally, right, you'll do very well.
Right. So someone was mentioning where's the chat box? Okay, so someone was mentioning about analysis on XAU USD. We actually went through this in the London session, and from that timing till now, actually,
Nothing happened.
gold, yeah, the analysis still our bias still remain the same, and that is that gold can actually go to either direction because we have supplies. It's right. We have supplies and demands below here that are still currently left untouched. But personally, to me, I would lean more towards longs for gold, personally, because we have really broken the daily supply, and I would say this is more of a retracement. But um, with longs aside, right, we can actually also see shorts. Reason being because of this entire week that formed when it was made to actually touch the demand over in gold. So my understanding on what long wicks are, right, is actually it basically shows that the pair that where the long wicks are, right, it's sorry, it's basically showing some intention into where the direction of the market is going. So with this long wicks here and long wicks here, right, we can actually see further downside movement if I based it off here. But if I do based it off supply and demand itself, right, just pure supply and demand, right, we are seeing this as a adjustment for price to actually head up higher to touch the 4 hour supply. So like just like how our bias was at the start, right, for when we were analyzing gold, right, the bias that it's just too damn messy, and it's like what Skiran mentioned, it's a no trade zone. Yeah, it's a no trade zone. Not some. So how we will actually approach the market, right, is we will wait for something like a breakout or something like a breakout of this range over here. Of course, we can do. Of course, what we can do is to actually dive into the small time frames actually and spot out for Wyckoff schematics, because whenever market is ranging, that's where Wyckoff schematics are actually forming back to back. That's why market is like ranging by itself. But because of how messy it is, right, I'm like, do you actually want to waste your effort and time analyzing through this Wyckoff schematics, or would you rather just jump to another pair which is much cleaner and actually focus on those pairs? Of course, personally to me, I would focus on the cleaner pairs lah, like such as GU and EU. Okay, Fibonacci strategy in energy play is very effective, but it seems like you all don't use it at all. But only an indicator of liquidity to you all. What? It's kind of difficult to answer
Fibonacci,
this.
okay. Honestly, we don't believe in indicators and we have not been using indicators since the start. So yeah, it's not really necessary in our institutional strategy or smart money concept. Yeah, so basically everything that we see is that we know each candle and what levels are doing, what is doing next, and where price is, where your order line, where your assets is being placed, that kind of stuff. So yeah, with that, we like our strategy doesn't really require stuff like retracement or rejections. Yeah, we don't use retracement, rejections, support resistance, none of that.
Actually, I did
Yeah,
ever look
so
into Fibonacci lah. That's one thing for sure because kind of I got curious. So this was the Fibonacci. Where is it? Yeah. So this was it that I actually plotted up, and I believe what you mentioned that through this Fibonacci setup alone, right, we can actually see that the understanding that the 0.618 and 50% level, right, that is to the golden zone that many that through my research, that this where trades are taken, or even here for that matter. But then it works, but personally to my liking, right, sorry, to the way I view the markets, right, I'm not one to sorry, both Kira and I, we are actually not one to just see price touching these zones and then actually making it smooth. Because when it touches zones, what is price doing? Is it like forming schematic within its zone? Does it have correlation with a supply and demand zone before, or like it's those kind of things, right, that we strive for, which is why we avoid using indicators because it allows us to understand the raw markets at what it's actually really doing. Apart from depending on indicators, because indicators, like we say, sorry, indicators aren't exactly like how do I say, it doesn't really explain itself. Instead, the indicator is the explanation itself. So we don't get to personally learn like what the raw markets are doing. Yeah, and that's why we
okay,
don't
and
use
just to
indicators.
right, and just to give a golden nugget to you guys out there, right? Anyone using indicators or any type of price action, that kind of stuff, especially indicators, right? The banks, the institution, the Wall Street market, they all know your indicators, they all know your Fibonacci, your Ichimoku cloud, your EMAs, they know where it's placed, and that's why you get SL. So you drawing your Fibonacci on the screen, right? The market makers is also going to draw the Fibonacci on his screen to see where you place your SL, take you out and drown, if that makes sense. Yeah, that is what the institution does, and that is how we trade. So by you placing your Fibonacci, I already know where your SL is placed. So I will actually wait for you to get taken out for me to get in the market with a bigger RR and a smaller SL.
And that's how our trades has always been sniper entries.
Yeah, like our
Yeah.
trades is like 1 to 50 risk reward. Like if you see our GU trade, right, the one that we just posted today, it was a 1 to 106 RR. So if you're risking $10 and making 1,600, like that kind of RR, but you wouldn't get such insane RR, right, if you were using a retail concept or like price action or that kind of, or like break and retest, whatever, because your SL will be way too big to get you the kind of RR. Like it's possible for you to get, but you have to swing for very long. We can even just cop like 10 to 20 pips, right? But our RR is so huge in that one candle to the point where we can scale our account like crazy. Yeah, that's the benefit of smart money concept.
Okay. So so I'll continue on. Wait. There's someone chat. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
So
no worries.
I'll continue on. I hope I've already answered the question for our buyers on gold. GU remains bearish. Screw it. I just missed the. Hey, Jake is entering the call. Okay. I just
I
missed the entry, but it's okay. Screw it. I don't care because it's a Monday after all. Um, over at Euro USD. Let me look over.
see
Okay,
GU and EU are like completely different directions now.
bro. No. If you look over here,
Yeah, look for supply to sell there. Right? Yeah, that's why.
yes. So Euro USD, like I mentioned, it was my bias was bullish, right? But as of right now, I would say that it could be both. If, for example, a long was taken on Euro USD, this would have been a perfect short to actually hedge the Euro USD position, because as what we can see here, apart from just it touching the supply, it has really broken the previous minor structure on a 5 minutes time frame. So I'll say, if as of right now, if you want to correlate GU and EU, it makes sense for both pairs to be bearish at this very moment in time. But if you were to correlate together with gold, then not a fan of gold also lah. So screw that, scrape that. Okay, yeah. Can you break down what is your definition of supply zones? Okay, so Nizat, we can't exactly break down our definition of supply or demand zones, because that would basically how do you put it? That would what?
It will basically like give away our main idea, because okay, like they are normal supply and demand zones, right? But the way we use supply and demand is completely different, because there is some things inside supply and demand, right, that is being hidden to most of the people, and that is what our strategy contains in that area lah. So we cannot really go too in depth into it. But if you want me to touch on the brief scale of supply and demand to any general person, right? Okay, so supply zone is basically just the candle before a main drop, and demand zone is just a candle before the main push. Yeah, it's just like
Actually,
it's not a support resistance level.
that's actually a pretty clean explanation. The shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So just to touch briefly, yeah, it's just basically like a bearish candle, a bullish candle before a downside.
Okay,
Or
example
if you're going for demand, yeah.
example, this is a demand zone. Where is okay?
So that's a supply.
It's
We're
right,
using
sorry.
some
Paise. Terbalik. This is a supply zone. Um, this is a supply. Bro, I terbalik lah, bro. What the fuck? Okay, this is a supply zone. Okay, this is a demand zone. This is a demand zone. But what is in the demand zone itself, and how we actually make use of it to actually take our positions, that bottom line depends on how we actually view price approaching those supply or demand zones, and also basing it off multi-time frame analysis and the strength in which the supply and demand zones has. So that is, so I hope that with this brief explanation
Oh,
you were
no, no,
able to
no.
actually
Demand zone is not support, you know. Demand zone is not known as support. If people use demand zone as support, right, they're using it completely wrong. So demand zones are not support, supply zones are not resistance. If you see all our trades that we take, right, is none of those levels. We don't trade on key levels. We trade in fractals of the market. So the
okay, I show
market
you
moves in
something.
fractal, yeah, a fractal nature,
Yeah,
right?
okay, so
Yeah.
I show something. Okay, where's the retail key levels? Okay, so this is something that you say is a support. Okay, this is support, and then right now when it broke, this become resistance, correct? But where's the supply zone here? There's no supply zone here. Instead, the supply zone is above here. And if you to break down the time frame, this is support, but this is the demand zone, and so there's also a demand zone here. So where exactly? So we don't
Supply.
exactly. Sorry, supply zone. Sorry. So we don't. So that's why we don't use supply and demand zones, right? Through the concept of key levels or support resistance. We view it completely differently.
Okay, like to give you an example, right? Just now he just showed you the retail level and where the support and supply is, right? If you understand what we're talking about, yeah. Okay, so you zoom in here a bit. Notice how you would be a retail trader, you will buy from the support, correct? It will give you a little bit into profit, touch my supply zone. After touching my supply zone, you will look for retailers to do a buy, right? But that is where the entire market crashes out. That's why whenever you buy from a support, you get SL because you're on the wrong side of the market according to the institutions. Support and resistance won't work for long. They will work when you are a beginner or like maybe when you just started. But if you're actually a consistent trader daily, right, you will realize that you lose more trades than you win no matter what. Because support, resistance, head and shoulders, all the bullshit don't work. They know where your key levels are, where your stop loss is, where you're placing everything in the market. Because they are doing the same thing on their end. And since you place a support right there, right, my supply is above the support, I will hit your SL and I will drown the entire market down after collecting all your orders.
And then bring price back up.
Yeah, and then bring price back up. So yeah,
After that, you reach
don't
peak.
be on the side of the market.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Kiran, do you remember when I was when I sent you this on Telegram? the schematic. Bro, it played out
Yeah,
perfectly, sir, bro.
yeah. I took the sell from the top.
Oh, fuck. It's okay, I missed it. It's okay. It's okay, it's all good.
But I on GG, over.
Oh,
I think
okay
GG
lah.
you still can take.
Really, Insert,
Yeah, GG you still can take.
But if I don't get like, but if my SL like 10 pips or above, bro, I don't want to cancel this, sir. Nah, bro,
Yeah,
not nice. Not nice, not nice. Serious, not nice. Okay, but either way
yeah.
lah.
The
Uh,
my SL is bigger than usual because I stopped refining at 50 minutes.
yeah, usually the refinement, right, it will go down to as low the time frame allows it, right, for the market to actually look good. Like example, if you do go down to the 1 minute time frame, right, and it looks like shit, right, now of course that's not the time
Yeah.
frame that you want to use for your entries lah, because of course you don't want to have your buyer. Okay, hold on, just 1 minute because my earpiece just disconnected.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
By the
so
way, guys, if you got any pairs, right, just continue typing in the section now.
yeah. Okay. So basically, the bias still remains. Following up on the questions on indicators. If all retail traders take the same trade, wouldn't you, wouldn't you be able to scalp some pips first before the, exactly? But okay,
Yeah.
it bottom line depends on how much you want to actually profit and how you want to actually like. I mean, do you want to actually like just earn a little bit profit of or like a little bit pips, or would you rather target like big RRs and small SLs to actually potentially scale your account? I mean, like you bottom line you choose lah. Honestly, yeah, it's really based on individual individual preference. Yeah,
Because you see, right, like when you are trading, okay, when you're trading, right, we stick to RR and we like RR and pips are not the same thing. RR can be made way bigger, right, than someone who take a one than someone who takes a 10 pip trade compared to someone takes a 100 pip trade. They can make the same amount of money. So it's about the RR of the trade, not about how many pips you're able to take. So if you really want to do a scout, right, you can do a scout. But if you are running on a smaller account, or if you are not able to actually scout properly, right, then you wouldn't be actually profiting, or you would just get very little money from your benefits of taking the time to actually chart everything out, and then end of the day you see that you're break even, or you just take too much time on the charts unless you're able to scout so efficiently like Jake. Then sure, by all means. But yeah, you can definitely scout some pips to answer the question based on indicators and key levels. You can scout some pips, but very frequently, right, if you don't get out of the trade in time, the market will just shoot the opposite direction extremely fast, taking out into stop loss. So by the time you need to SL to break even, right, you wouldn't even make that much money, and you need to cover your commission fees also depending on how much lots you're trading. So I assume if you're a scalper, right, your lot size is extremely big. If you are running a bigger account, and the fact that you are scalping in a bigger lot size, you have to pay for the commission, the swap, all that kind of stuff. And if you don't cover that just from the scalp trade, right, you're just losing money over time.
Yep. Okay, so Nizat was also asking, for you guys' own analysis, are there any favorite timeframes to analyze and a smaller one to execute? So basically, how we analyze the market, there are no favorite timeframes for us to actually analyze and smaller timeframes for us to execute. How we actually do approach the market is basically just from monthly, weekly, all the way down to whichever time frame, right, that offers us the cleanest point of interest and also the cleanest supply and demand for us to actually how do I say, for us to actually lean in towards the trade, knowing that it would the chance for the trade to go well, right, is there lah. So example right now, if I'm on like if I'm on, okay, let's say, sorry, if I'm on 4 hour, okay, 4 hours. So right now the way I see it, 4 hour doesn't look clean. So if I go to the 2 hour, okay, 2 hour looks quite clean. So I go into the 1 hour, okay, 1 hour looks decent, it looks pretty clean. So I see to how low of a time frame does this clean setup, right, go to. So if I go into the 1 minute and it's still damn clean, and instead it's like it starts showing more of my confirmations, such as like Wyckoff, then of course I'll go to the 1 minute lah. By example, if 1 minute is just too messy, and probably 15 minutes is as clean as how it was in a 1 hour time frame, right? Now, of course, I'll lean towards the 15 minutes time frame. So that is how we actually approach the market. It's not really entirely based off like which time frame is our favorite. Neither do we like lean towards just 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Not it's not those kind of things. But if you trade key levels, yes, that would definitely be how you trade, because you want to see your rejections forming up in those certain key levels plotted out in those time frames, such as like 4 hour and 1 hour, or probably even 2 hours. But because we don't use key levels or support resistance, which is why there's more of a need for us to actually really use multi time frame analysis. It really allows us to really amp up our position lah, when it comes to taking trades. So I hope I was able to answer your question, Lizard. Yeah. Okay. So I believe I've actually already gone through the main pairs that I trade lah, which is GU and EU. With the bias being bearish as of now, no more bullish for EU. It's mainly bearish. So apart from just my bias on these two pairs, I used to actually give my analysis on UJ. But honestly, UJ has been quite a mess lah, because as what we can see here, broken demand zone, but then it continued going up higher. We could probably wait. Actually, no, it's actually not that. Sorry, guys.
I expect UJ to turn bearish and might turn bearish because of the GPY longs they are
Yeah,
kicking
no,
in soon.
actually, now that I mention it, right, it's actually quite clean. At this very point,
Yeah,
can break down GJ. Okay, hold on, Jake. As of
sure.
UJ, Jake, I thought you very pro. No, okay, just kidding. So for
Oh,
for UJ, right, I will actually be eyeing out for this. I'll be eyeing out and seeing how price reacts when price approaches this zone. But to whether I'll actually take this trade, right, it really depends, because with such a very nice bearish order flow, right, it could actually be attracting sellers to actually approach the market, which the institutions will also know, and that would be where price could actually spike up before actually making some sort of formation on to actually continue its movement down. So as of this current position, I'll be a bit careful, but at the same time, I might be looking at sells, because, like I mentioned, bearish order flow, and the other confirmation that I do personally have, right, and I do look at, right, is through the break, right, of supply and demand. And as we can see, like I mentioned earlier on just now, price did break the demand over here, which is why the sells could actually play out. So just something out, just lay it out to you guys lah. Okay, so who's that? Jake wants us to go through GP JPY, right? Okay, so I'll open GJ.
yeah.
Okay, so bias for GJ is actually not exactly the way I'll view together with GU lah, because GJ and GU has really been not correlating lately. But as of right now, sorry Kiran, I know you are on GU cells, but my bias on GJ is longs, like legit longs. Because if you see here, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you see here, this supply has been touched, it reflected, right? And then remember how I mentioned in lesson 4 when I ran through supply and demand. When
Mm.
after price touched a supply zone or a supply or demand zone, and the second or third time it touches, right, the possibility of it, right, to actually break through, right, is there. So I would say that as of right now, GJ is if you want to take shots, by all means, I believe you
You see the
can get a
daily
pretty nice RR with this lah. No, actually no, it's quite disgusting. Above 20 pips cannot. But then either way, as GJ shots could be nice if you do monitor structure on the probably on a 5 minutes or 1 minute time frame and get a smaller RR, because the RR of
but
20.
daily supply looks very good to sell
Sorry,
off. Daily supply looks damn good to sell off.
daily supply. Let me look. Yeah, actually it does look damn good. Oh shit, yeah.
Right. That's why I took the sell.
Yeah, but
I
then
refined from the daily.
okay, bro, look at this.
Yeah, that's why
It
I also saw that.
Yeah, it broke through here. It retouched this demand zone, and then right now it's going up. So as of right now, if you want to look for buys right on GJ, right, I really wouldn't recommend, because you've basically just missed it. And if you want to look for sells, I would say sells would be more nicer lah to take at this point of time. But it's not to my liking, because it doesn't have my own set of confirmations to actually when I'm actually leaning towards a trade lah. And GJ has just been a mess. But yeah, potential downside and upside at the same time. So it's very 50-50. But one thing is for sure is that EU and GU has been pretty clean out of this world lately. Like legit, it's been damn clean. UJ also, if you want to correlate UJ together with GP JPY, right, you can probably do so, because like how I'm actually seeing UJ to actually rise out a bit for it to then drown, right? GJ might play out very similarly, but of course the correlation wise, the
Hey,
way,
Budi, I show you something on my screen.
yeah,
Huh?
lah. Sorry.
Hey, bro, I show you something on my screen.
Oh,
You see,
sure.
ah?
So I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll let Skiran share his.
Okay, you see my daily time frame. My daily time frame, right, don't have the bullish candle in between.
Eh, eh.
It's a straight form. It's a straight drop of supply.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see mine.
Yours got a bullish candle in the middle,
Yeah,
right?
scammers, yeah, bro. This one.
Yeah, that's why.
Wait,
Because I analyzing on this
using
chart.
Wanda, right? Okay, I see.
Yeah,
I'm using I'm using FXCM.
yeah, but shouldn't they like standardize this shit? This shit is not fair, yeah.
Yes, sir. Wait, let me.
That one candle changes a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, bro. I opened GJ on Wanda, right? They legit don't have the bearish candle. Okay, yeah. So
Right.
because you're looking over at Wanda, right? I would say that yeah, the cells can actually be very nice. But looking at GJ on FXCM, right? The cells are just
Look like dog, right?
plus minus like a bit chacat like that.
But GU is good.
GU looks good. GU looks good.
GU is good.
EU
So
might
I'm praying that GU will bring my GJ down.
EU might probably have a re-entry forming up, honestly, if you look over at EU. But as for GU, I'm not entirely too sure, because from the way I see, it has been forming a pretty nice price action movement on the way down. So for it to actually find its way up to actually reflect off a certain level, is you gotta really refine it lah. Hold on,
EU can recover. EU potentially can recover, but if it breaks this zone, then it's very dangerous.
yeah.
So as long as you don't break this demand, right, then the possibility to recover is actually quite high. Probably just look for some sort of accumulation or something that happens over here. Or I don't know, if you're a record trader, you look for a record thing that goes on there, take a buy, yeah, then sure. But right now, where it's stepping into the demand zone, right? If you didn't take a buy in these lower regions, right, then I would suggest not taking any buys.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you don't take any buys within like in these regions over here, right, then I suggest you don't take any buys now.
For which pair are you mentioning about?
EU.
EU.
Oh wait, am I not sharing my screen?
Oh, okay, sorry. My screen was chacat a bit.
Yeah, gold sells. GG possible bearish, but bullish pressure also possible. Bullish pressure, if there's bullish pressure, I would see GG at 153, 153.5 around there. Sells for gold to 170, so yeah, sells for gold good. So. But I think gold will just like gold is just screwing up people's order flow now.
Jake,
Yeah,
when it
but
comes to
yeah,
gold,
this
right, you shouldn't be asking us. You are literally like the best we know in gold, serious.
but gold sells look damn good. You see my screen,
Yeah.
right? It's not all these people that I have
But
there.
I cannot trade gold lah,
You see
bro.
this?
Haram lah.
You see this structure broken, right? It's quite clean. This candle filling up this liquidity zone here. Remember I marked it just now? I mean what I marked London. So yeah, that's there. If you guys remember or you're in the call just now. Yeah, so potential, yeah, very good potential downside. Following this probably something like this will happen. Possible.
40 pips
Yeah.
lah.
Yeah, something like this will happen. So yeah, these are one of the best trade of my life. Mm-hmm. But I entered way better. Like, I don't know, like fucking Sitara.
Fair enough. I need to connect my earpiece back.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the 8:30 candle. Looks good.
Alright, okay, so I'm back with my earpiece.
Okay. You
Okay, so
got anything else to go through?
okay, so right now because you just went through gold, right, and some of EU and GJ. So I believe we've actually covered 8:30 candle. So I believe we've actually covered almost everything. No, is it almost everything? I think everything already. We've already covered everything. But just for the sake of it, where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, I'm still eyeing on this though. Not bad because like it's a 5
Are you
pip
taking the
SL.
sell?
I might though. It looks good.
Mm.
Serious, it looks good. Because if I take the sell also, bro, I just risk like, bro, it's only 5 pips SL. This risk like for fun only like 1% or something. Like for fun only. Looks good, looks good. Serious. Okay lah, I mean, see how lah. Might probably refine further. Let me lock this.
I for the USD CHF.
Okay. Let me just see how I can refine this. Actually, this refine quite good 3 minutes time frame, 5 minutes. If I take this one up, bro, what? 2 pips SL. Okay, I bring it a bit higher lah. 2 pips SL. I might though. I might. But I just got news right that from where is it?
Yeah, Euro USD got risk of falling.
Oh, you can see on my screen.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah. There's a risk of falling. So if that happens, then the chances of USD JPY rising, right, is also there. So I I think I might not take, or I might still
By
take
my understand, but
2 pips,
no, bro.
bro.
By
2
my
pips.
understand, all these things all said by retail people. All this
Oh yeah, ho.
is retail message. Yeah.
True. Right. Yeah, but then again, right, bro, you want to see something flag,
Hey,
bro.
I don't want to see all this bullish flag.
Okay lah. But
No,
I'm definitely eyeing on this 2 pips SL. Depends on how far the TP could get, right? Let's say if I do drag the TP down to somewhere within this, I need to find the zone. If I do drag it down to here, the next demand zone, just a 2 pips SL with a 50 pips take profit, right? We are already 1:25. So I might risk it risk it for the biscuit. Jake, sell signal left for gold. Kidding lah. Okay, but serious. I'm eyeing this on USD JPY right now. It's a 2 pip SL. It's a very, very solid trade in my opinion. And sells on GU. So going against each other, but we'll see how it goes. So that's all that we'll be going through today for this New York session. If you guys do have anything else that you would like us to go through, do let us know. Because if you don't, then we'll be ending this session in about I guess about 5 minutes time. Yeah, about 5 minutes time.
Yeah, but in the meanwhile, what you guys can do on our part, right? Like just for the sake of us, right? Is pray for GJ, okay? Please pray for
Bro,
GJ.
I'm setting my sell limit right now. Thanks
For what?
Thanks for sharing the information so freely. No problem, Jonathan. Like we mentioned,
Yeah, no
we are
worries,
always
bro.
trying our best to actually help as much as we can and forward as much knowledge as we can. Why not?
But by the way,
Just kidding.
whatever you say about Fibonacci or like detail stuff, all right, don't listen to us and get too obsessed, like by changing your trading, because if it works for you, it works for you, and if that's what you're comfortable with, right, then by all means. It's just that we were once in your shoes also, so we do know about all these like indicators and all that. But the more you use it, right, you realize that there are way better stuff, all these hidden gems that the market has to offer you. Yeah, so I think every one of us will want to strive to get better individually. Yeah, so yeah, this is how we actually change from retail to institutional trading.
Yep.
Hope you guys keep on doing this. Hey, thanks, bro. Means a lot to us.
Hope you guys will keep on doing this in the future. Interesting and effective insights. All right. We will. Don't worry. This Monday Insights will be a forever thing. As long as DeltalyteFX is still running, right? This Monday Insights will forever be here.
That's why
Forever.
you lucky. Even got one person join the call, right? Like that day is bad as shit. Only one person join the call. Everyone busy, right? You still hold the entire thing.
And we still post it on YouTube. Because
You're
it's
still
like,
posting on YouTube.
yeah, because we understand that even though not many can actually attend the call, right? At certain timing, right? Some may still find it useful and might still want to approach our videos through YouTube. You guys continue to refine my strategy to be perfect. All the
Yeah,
best,
bro.
bro.
All the best in refining.
Okay, so we have 2 minutes left. Um, let's see.
We will all retire off trading one day. No worry. Buy some. Buy some. Sorry guys, leave jokes. I stress.
Why? Wait,
When you trade, you
what's
stress on.
bison?
The fucking cow.
Okay lah. So it's right now it's 9:03. So we have 2 minutes left to actually answer any last minute questions, be it trading related or not. So if you guys have anything, just spam me, just ask me. Feel free any. Okay, so no questions. So we'll take it that all questions has already been asked and we've already answered everything. So we'll end the session right now. Okay, so thank you guys for coming to this Monday Insights. We hope to see you guys again next week. So till then, happy trading and please trade safely. Okay, bye bye.